Get ready, because here's your host, Tyson Mutrix.
Good morning, everybody, to the Guild Live show. Hopefully everyone is having a great week. This week, we've got a really good show, interesting things we're going to talk about. An interesting grok malfunction that happened yesterday. I'm going to show you how to prep for some meetings with Gemini, which is going to be pretty cool. Something self-active. I'll just leave it at that. That's the line I'm going to use for it. Self-active. That's the quote from it. Kind of an interesting thing there. We're going to talk a little bit about in-house AI, reducing costs, and then a social strategy that I found that I think some of you all might like, so you can adopt it in your social media strategy. So let's get started with the grok malfunction. And this is a really interesting thing yesterday. So grok was not super culturally sensitive yesterday. There's a post from grok. The reason why I bring this up is to talk about, we have some things that are somewhat on autopilot that we've tested over and over again. And when it comes to AI in our firm, and this concerns me a little bit, because some of the things we're accessing grok. So this is why I'm bringing this up. This is the post, and we are aware of recent posts made by grok and are actively working to remove the inappropriate post. Since being made aware of the content, XAI has taken action to ban hate speech before grok posts on X. XAI is training only truth-seeking, and thanks to the millions of users on X, we are able to quickly identify and update the model where training could be improved. I'm not even going to use the name it was calling itself, because the reason why is I don't want it to affect our ability to have reach on YouTube and other platforms. So I'm not even going to mention it. Go and search. You'll find that it's very interesting. And I really wonder how it happened. I don't think that they know. I think it's important that you know that you have to have someone that's regularly monitoring your AI systems, because we're all going to be using them more and more every single day, and you have to regularly monitor them. If you don't have some human in the loop at some point, it's going to bite you in the butt. And that's why I wanted to bring this up, because this was really eye-opening. Think of this. They've got some of the biggest teams in the world working on XAI, and this happened. So just imagine what could happen if with your teams are not going to be nearly as big as XAI or OpenAI or Google with Gemini, and or Meta, who's another story this week we're not going to cover. They poached someone from Apple's AI, but you have to be really, really careful. You got to have some sort of human in the loop on things, especially if you have them posting for you, or if you have them doing any sort of SEO creation. You have to be very, very careful with that. So that's why I wanted to bring that up. Hey, Brooks. Oh, okay. So Brooks said something in the comments in the guild I got to bring up. Good morning, Brooks. I do have a black eye. That was actually something I was going to address earlier in the show. I'm glad you mentioned something, Brooks. I did not get into a fight. I guess I can't quite say I didn't get into a fight. I did not get into a bar fight. I caught a heel in jiu-jitsu, and no, we don't kick each other. It was an accident. It was a new guy. He was kind of squirming all over the place. Caught me with a heel in my cheek. It didn't turn into a black eye for 2 days. I was kind of surprised I actually got a black eye. I didn't even know I had one until Amy said something to me. I was outside in the yard, and she said, "You have a black eye." It was on the 4th of July. I was like, "What?" And so I had no idea, but I didn't get into some sort of bar fight. No one punched me. So I'm glad you said something, Brooks, because everywhere it's starting to yellow and kind of go away. But I just think it's kind of funny. The first thing that when you see someone with a black eye, you immediately think they got punched in the eye. Did not get punched in the eye, but Thank you. I'm glad you brought that up, Brooks, because it reminded me to say something. All right. But that's all I have to say about Grok AI. To me, that is just it's a bizarre story. Really is a bizarre story. But let's get into something prepping for meetings with Gemini. This is something pretty cool. I got where I found this was the rundown. I get this email. Roman Chung, I've talked about him several times on the show, where he's got this newsletter, and it's funny, I don't read the newsletter. What I do is I create it because I don't like to open my email. What I did is I created a Zap where it gives me a summary in a chat message inside a Zoho Click, which is like Slack for those of you that don't know. And this was one that I get a summary so I can kind of see if there's anything that I find interesting. And this one I did find interesting. I think it's something that would be beneficial for everybody. So I want to share this with everyone about how to prepare for any meeting using Google Gemini apps. And so let me show this to you, because I think it would be really, really helpful. And this is inside of The Rundown University. I think it's pretty cool. I also think it's funny that I call this this segment where I go through all these topics, The Rundown. So maybe that's why they caught my eye. But The Rundown, AI-powered meeting preparation that analyzes your calendar, reviews past emails, and researches participants to give you comprehensive briefings before every meeting. Who this is useful for: busy professionals, sales teams, job seekers, networkers, yada, yada, yada. So you all don't care about that, because this is definitely applicable to you. I don't know how to reduce this window, so I'm going to expand it here. For those of you that are just watching or listening, don't worry. I'm going to actually walk you through this. So I'm just trying to get the window to a point where you can actually see it pretty well. So the first thing is Google, enable Google Workspace integration. So you got to go to Google's Gemini website, and I'll do this. There is screenshots here, but just know that you have to, if you're going to do this for your workspace, you do have to enable a lot of these apps. And a lot of people don't realize that your team does not have access to a lot of things if you do not authorize it. And you need to make sure that if you want your team using these tools, you need to go inside of Google Workspace and enable them. A lot of times by default, they're disabled. So you're going to want to go in there and enable those. And it says to let it access your calendar and email data, you'll need to enable a Google Workspace integration. Click on the settings icon in the bottom left corner of your interface, then scroll down to find the Google Workspace section. Toggle it on and follow the authentication prompts to connect your Gmail and calendar accounts. I can tell you just from the last time I've been into that area, this is way nicer and way more user-friendly than what it used to be. A lot of toggles and stuff that are a lot easier to use than what it used to be. It used to be kind of clunky looking, in my opinion. It says, note this integration allows the AI to search through your emails, but it cannot send emails. I think that's an important note. And then step 2. So step 1 is enabling the Google Workspace integration. Step 2, check your calendar. Start by asking the AI to check your upcoming meetings for a specific time frame. Use a prompt like, so check my calendar for this week and show me all my meetings with participant details. Love that one. Just the way my week is set up, it's kind of a weird mix where I've got, podcasting stuff where I'm doing interviews, or like Max Law meetings, or I've got firm stuff where I'm either doing meetings with the team, or could be have depositions, could have court. So it's something like this would be really, really helpful. It says the AI will scan your calendar and provide you with a comprehensive list of your meetings, including detailed attendee names, meeting times, and any available meeting descriptions. You'll see the meetings displayed with clear scheduling information and participant details. I will just, to me, that part of it is not super helpful. I'm going to show you some stuff later on down that I think is helpful. But to me, we already have an automation where I get a summary of my week. It comes into a chat message. I don't need this. That was more of an automation thing that I don't really need to. I don't want to prompt Gemini or anything else to give me that information. Step 3, search previous email conversations to understand your relationship context. Ask the AI to search through your email history. Search my Gmail for any previous conversations with, and you can use their name, and summarize our past interactions. and gives you a time frame. So, in the last 6 months. Says this will help you recall previous discussions, commitments made, or topics covered, ensuring continuity in your business relationships. The AI will find relevant email threads and provide context about your communication history. This is something I do find that would be really, really helpful, is that doing some of this, contextual research, and then allowing it to prep me for any meetings. I think that this is something that is helpful. And then step 4, generate meeting strategy. Finally, ask the AI to synthesize all this information into actionable insights based on, and here's the prompt, based on my upcoming meeting with, let's just say Tom, our previous conversations and current, it says company, firm contacts. Search the web for latest news relevant to this meeting. Suggest 5 talking points and 3 questions I should prepare. The AI will create customized meeting strategy that takes into account your relationships history, current business context, and recent developments relevant to your meeting participant. And then it gives a little example of, 5 talking points: express enthusiasm for non-existent podcast. It's in quotes. Start by reiterating your interest and excitement about being considered for an interview on the non-existent podcast, and thank Alex for reaching out. So it gives some other ideas on that. And then pro tip: after meetings, ask the AI to draft follow-up email templates based on the talking points you prepared and discussed. So I think that could be pretty good when it comes to preparing. I don't know if Gemini has the capability of doing this, but I know I use Perplexity. I use Perplexity and I use OpenAI, so ChatGPT, to prep for some of my podcast interviews, and it will go and find me quotes from interviews that they have done on podcast or TV. It will go and find me things like social media posts, LinkedIn posts, really any posts, and it will give me quotes that are relevant to our conversation. And so I do use that to put into what we call our insight brief. And so I'll have it, every guest that we have, I have an insight brief, and I will go through and have a bunch of information, way more information than I use on the show, but it's great to have to prep because it allows me to go in different directions. So I've got my set list of questions that I'm going to ask, but a lot of times, for those of you that listen to the show, I dive off into some other areas occasionally because I want to go where what I find to be interesting. So I've got these questions that kind of optional, I guess, but the insight brief, having all this additional information is can be pretty handy. So a lot of fun. All right, let's get into self-active. This is really interesting. This is the one I am the most, the thing I want to talk about the most today was this thing with self-active. Announcing, this is a post, announcing ProActor V1.0, world's first self-active AI teammate. ProActor V1.0 is super smart. It can perceive, think, and act by itself. I'm going to give you an example of this. I'm going to play a video. And for those of you that are just going to be listening, I am going to actually leave my mic on so I can sort of give you some sort of context as the video plays, because some of the things, there's some visual cues that you can't see that I'm gonna have to make sure I mention for you. But someone trying to cheat on you, ProActor can auto fact check and call them out. And it is interesting. You just wait till this demo. Say you're going through this guy's endless bragging, or he's simply looking to trick you. ProActor can be examining the facts and pointing out his flaws. ProActor can also serve as a rational AI agent at work. When you're arguing with your colleague and no one's backing down, ProActor may turn up and say, "You're both off the point. I found this with my deep search." ProActor is your proactive ally, and it's just getting started. See how it empowers you and it gives the video. I'm going to give you a bit of a warning. The gentleman speaking is not the easiest to understand at times, but it's easy enough to understand that you'll be able to pick up on everything. But just giving you a fair warning here. But I'm gonna leave my mic on. Usually, whenever I have to play a video in StreamYard, it turns my mic off, but I'm gonna try to give a little bit of context as we're going. So here we go.
Yo, bro, do you remember that hot girl I met on Tinder before?
Well, yeah, I remember. You said she got you into crypto and helped you make
Okay,
some
so
money. What's going on?
as
You know
we're
what?
going
She's
here,
not just attractive. It means $1,000
kinda
on my
shows the
5,000 last
screen.
month, and now she's telling me there's a perfect chance to all in. You know, put 10,000 even more. She says it's gonna go up by 50% in a month.
50%?
Yeah.
Are you sure about that?
Yeah.
You know, that's way beyond what's normal.
So
so
what?
it shows the screen here
Take a
again.
look at this.
What was that? Schemes? Schemes? Lack of transparency?
So he's saying
No, it doesn't make any
scams.
sense. I mean, we've been know each other for 3 months, and she likes me. Besides, she actually bring me money. Oh, by the way, we're also gonna have a date on Berlin. She told me it's the capital of France. Well, it's gonna be awesome.
The capital of France is Berlin.
Uh-huh.
There's no way it's Berlin.
What are you talking about?
See, the capital of France is Paris.
And again, fact check. So this is in real time. It's showing the screen.
Hold on. So you're
Really
telling
interesting. It's showing
me
the
she's lying on
screen
me?
of product.
I'm gonna lose my money and my date. No, it couldn't be real. It doesn't make any sense.
Well, you've definitely been treated as a pig, you know.
A pig?
Yeah, a pig butchering scam.
What was that?
Wake up, bro. Can't believe you don't know this, man.
Never heard that before. Building trust, but butchering? It looks exactly the same.
Well, as long as you didn't get
So you get the point. So he's having this conversation about this person he met. She's trying to scam him, and all these things that he's saying. His friends has Proactor open on his laptop and is fact checking everything. Really, really kind of an interesting thing. When it comes to if this does what it says it does, I'm going to use this in depots. That's it's one of those things where especially if I can feed it information, that's the other thing too. If I could feed it the file and it's fact checking what's in the file, also what's outside, like, on that's publicly available. Pretty incredible. I did accept it all on here, but so I've got the screen up for their website, the #1 proactive AI teammate for smart meetings. Really interesting. If it does everything it says it can do, that's pretty incredible. Something that I could see very useful for business meetings, litigation, employee meetings, things where you're meeting with your team, someone says something, because I think a lot of you have probably been in a meeting where someone says something, they say it confidently, and so you automatically believe it. Just one of the benefits of speaking with confidence. Speak like you know what you're talking about, and people will believe you. That's one of the downsides of speaking with confidence, is that a lot of times people will believe you, but this can fact check things like that. And so it's really interesting. So I'm going to test it out, let you all know what I think. There is a free trial, it looks like. So it says start for free. And then let me tell you, here's what we'll do. I'm going to show this to you and let you know. It's proactor.ai. And let's see if we have to. Oh, interesting. So when it says start for free, it looks like it just lets you start with a free conversation, record and extract insights, or start a chat. Ask anything and receive fast, context-aware answers powered by your conversation history. So looks like you don't need to give a credit card or anything. You just click this and the button, and it will record and extract insights, capture any meeting, and get live transcripts, summaries, to-do list, and tailored advice. So it looks like it's giving you a little bit of extra too. So you're getting the transcripts, you're getting a summary, you're getting a to-do list, tailored advice, in addition to the fact checking. So this can be something that consolidates some of the other stuff that you're spending money on. That's pretty interesting. So you're getting more bang for your buck than what I even thought. So that may be worth it. I don't know what the pricing is on this. Let's see if it'll give me the pricing. Let's see. Let's see if we can go back here. I'll tell you. The pricing is not posted. Oh, here we go. Pricing is here. So the free version, and you get 100 credits. So transcription time is 30 minutes. With that, you get proactive AI advice, preview only. You have to upgrade to unlock it. So you only get the preview of it. Then you get real-time transcription, AI-generated summaries, key takeaways, and to-do lists, session wiki pages, okay, AI chat powered by memory, and then smart search across all conversations. And then you got a pro version. This is for individuals, and you get 40,800 credits, and that's 16,200 minutes. That's plenty. And then you get full access to proactive AI advice during the meeting. So that's where the basic model, that's $15.99 a month. If you it's billed yearly though, so $191.88 is what it is. And then if actually $191.88 if billed yearly, so $15.99 a month otherwise. And then you got the business version, it's $39.99 a month, or if you build it yearly, it's $479.88. For that, you get 109,000 credits. You get 43,200 minutes, and then full access to proactive AI advice, and then priority email support, whatever the hell that gets you. But there you go. It's an interesting one. It's actually a little more interesting than I thought because I didn't realize it did this other thing. So that's pretty cool. All right, let's get into the next topic, and this is one not entirely surprising, but a little concerning because it's happening so quickly. This is a post or a website article from the Artificial Lawyer. For anybody that has never heard of Artificial Lawyer, they've been around for a while, but artificiallawyer.com is pretty good. The name of this article, AI reduces client use of law firms by 13%. And that's the part where bit concerning, not surprising, a bit concerning. So, and this is there's a little chart, and there's a study that they had done on this. It was by LexisNexis, but cost savings from reduced or avoided outside counsel spend. And what it's got this little table, and it says average matters handled before using Lexis plus AI, yada, yada, yada. It goes down to it's line 3. So reduction in matters handled with outside counsel with Lexis plus AI. And this is just Lexis plus AI. This isn't all AI. And you got year 1, 11% reduction, year 2, 12%, and then year 3, 13% is what they've estimated. So a new study by LexisNexis conducted for them by Forrester and using a model in-house legal team of a hypothetical $10 billion company found that if they were using AI tools at scale internally, it could reduce work sent to law firms by 13% based on the volume of matters handled. Okay. Some other key findings included a 25% reduction in annual time spent advising the business on legal inquiries, i.e. advising the business the in-house team is within, and annual time savings of 50% for paralegals on administrative tasks, i.e. paralegals employed by the in-house team. To get these results, the consulting group Forrester interviewed 4 senior in-house people with experience using and deploying Lexis AI in their companies. Then they combined the 4 companies into a single composite organization based in North America with $10 billion in annual revenue and a corporate legal staff of 70 attorneys and 10 paralegals. Its legal budget is a third of the organization's annual revenue. This scenario was then considered over 3 years, taking into account broad use of AI. So, 13%, it's pretty incredible. So you got a 13% reduction in client use. Here's my prediction on this. I've talked about my prediction quite a bit. I think right now you're going to see more of an impact with more educated individuals or I wouldn't say educated, more sophisticated individuals knowing more about AI. I think a lot of people that are like watching the show or listening to the show, people like you're going to be using a little bit more AI than going to professionals. Not that you're not going to go to professionals. I think that just you're going to be able to use AI more effectively. And the general public is like going to like my dad's 70th birthday was last weekend before last, and talking to people about AI, they're like, it's like you're way over their head. They know it exists, and that's about it. And so the general populace is going to be slower to adopt it. And I don't think it's going to have effect effect on as many of business to consumer type of sales, like most of us, as opposed to like business to business yet. But it's coming. It's going to be slower to be rolled out, I think. But, all right, let's get into our last thing that I want to talk about, and that's a social media strategy that I'd seen. And so it's a 10-part thread that will fix your strategy, boost engagement, and turn followers into clients. And I think maybe the easiest way of doing this is sharing this with everybody. I am it's an X community. It's a digital marketing community, and it's just I go in there and I check on things occasionally. It's kind of interesting. But on this one, so you've got the step one is your and it's not really step one. It's just there's 10 parts to it. So your number one, your content isn't the problem. Your strategy is most creators post randomly and expect results. And what you need in your system is clear goals, value-based content, weekly distribution plan, and then tracking what works. And they say structure beats hustle. And I did notice that they didn't put this in order, which is always kind of fun. Number two, which maybe I did. No. Okay. So number two is hook first, content wins. So hook first. So think like what stops your scroll. So you have 2 seconds to grab attention. Stop saying, here's how I can use Canva. It's a start with most Canva users miss this feature. I used it to land 5 clients last week. So hooks make or break your reach. I find that to be true. Number 3, your audience does not equal everyone. Posting for everyone is equals speaking to no one. So pick a niche: coaches, local brands, e-commerce, SaaS founders. Speak their language, solve their problem. 4, post daily does not equal growing daily. So stop burning out with meaningless posts. What works instead? 3 valuable posts a week, 1 proof-based post, 1 story or behind the scenes, and then 1 conversion click to action. CTA. I cannot even think of what that term is for some reason, but call to action. Oh my gosh, one of those moments. 1 conversion call to action. Focus on quality and consistency. 5, your bio is costing you clients. Oh, no one knows marketing expert. Make it about the results you bring. So I help fitness coaches get 15 clients a month with social media. DMs open for free audit. Clarity equals conversions. I do like that quite a bit. Number 6, stop hiding in DMs. Want clients? Start conversations. Hey, I love your content on XYZ. I help blank with blank. Let me know if I can send ideas. No pitching, just helping. I don't like this. No one, it says stop hiding in the DMs. I don't even know what the hell that means. I don't know if does that mean you send DMs, or does that mean posting on the actual post or commenting? I don't know. But if they're saying send a DM, I'm not. If you send me this crap, I've seen this. I just delete it. I just report it as spam. So I don't like that one. I don't like that idea. 7, content pillars equals no burnout. So struggling to post, use 4 pillars. I've talked about this before. This isn't new. I've seen this a while ago. But so educational, personal story, results / proof, engagement, polls, and questions. So now rotate and you reuse ideas weekly. Using pillars is a really easy way. You can also create like pillars of your brand, and that's what I've talked about previously on the show, is creating pillars for your brand. Which for me, you could do pilot. I'm an attorney, right? Those are a couple pillars, and then family you could use as another pillar if you wanted to, and then maybe another one I could, if I wanted to talk about bourbon, I could talk about bourbon. Those could be like different pillars of the brand. So that kind of gives you an idea. And then you've got, let's see, 9 tools that save you. I don't know if I'm skipped. Yeah. So 8, I got to go to 8. Boom. Steal this CTA, so call to action strategy, DM strategy for a free content idea list. Want 10x engagement? Let's chat, link in bio. And then you got to save this if you struggle with content. Strong call to action equals more action. I agree with that. And then a couple more. 9 is tools that save you 10+ hours a week. So Trello / Notion for planning, ChatGPT for captions plus ideas. Metricool, which I've never heard of before, /buffer for scheduling. So Metricool, METRICOOL, and then Canva for graphics. And Canva is fantastic. And then systems equal sanity. 100% agree. And then 10, your personal brand is your superpower. People buy from people. Show your process, share client wins, talk about your lessons, be honest, not perfect. You're not just a marketer, you're a brand. Do agree with that. There was a bonus that they posted in here. Final tip: social media doesn't sell, you do. Your content builds trust. Your profile builds credibility. Your DMs close deals. Work on all three. Consistently, results will follow. So that is it's all I got for this week. I found that to be a pretty beneficial post. If anything, it gives you a structure to work from, and people, they find structure to be pretty beneficial. And most of the strategies in there are pretty sound. There's the one I didn't totally agree with, but otherwise definitely agreed with them. So hopefully you got something from this episode. Would love to hear from you. Would shoot me a text. Would love to hear from you. Comment on the post as well, because I definitely read the comments, because we make sure we want to get better every single day. But have a great week, everyone. Hopefully you enjoyed this midweek break, but we'll see you later. See you, buddy.
Our next mastermind in New York City is sold out. But don't worry, there's still time to get your tickets to the Mastermind and Max LawCon in Nashville in October. Max LawCon is 2 days of immersive learning, powerful insights, and meaningful connections, all designed to provide actionable strategies you'll take back to your firm and implement right away. No fluff, just real talk and tangible takeaways you can implement immediately. Go to maxlawevents.com for more details.
I deal with life different, make that limit squeeze. Went off for my style and identity.